What's going on, guys? MJ300 here, and welcome to a brand new episode of our Arsenal Road to Glory series. So here we are now into episode number 3 of year number 4. We are up to November, and it has been a fantastic start for Arsenal so far. We are 100% through the first few months of the season. You can see there, we've got Champions League coming up. We are 3 wins out of 3. Over in the Premier League, we're top of the table with 10 wins out of 10, and we're also through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. So it has been literally the perfect start. We're going to see now if we can continue that on as we get through the next few months and into the January transfer window. And our first game here is up against Dinamo Zagreb in the Champions League. It's a home tie. Obviously, we're victorious over them last time out. We are going to be going back to our first 11 team for this game. I'm going to jump straight into it here. No time to waste. Let's get straight into these games. Get a good portion done. Can we get a win to continue year number 4? We can. We win 3-1. Kimpembe, Neves and Mbappe all on the score sheet. Morrow for them. But Gnabry picks up an injury, which is a little bit worrying. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. And he's pulled his quad, so he's out for 2 weeks. So nothing too bad there. We'll just rotate that around for the next couple of games. And here we go now, back to Premier League action. And I apologise, I thought we'd only won 10 out of 10, but we've actually won 11 out of 11. You can see that there. Obviously top of the table with the best start in Premier League history. Currently sitting 5 points clear of Liverpool and 6 points clear of Man City. So next up here we have a tie against Everton. We're just going to have a look and see where they're doing, because if you remember, they sold over £200 million worth of players back in the summer, and they're definitely suffering for it. They are in 18th place with only 1 win all season and on 5 points. The only teams below them are both Fulham and West Brom, who are pointless through the first 11 games. So based on form, it should definitely be a game we're looking to get ourselves a win in. And we do. We win 4-1. Gaia, Maddison and Martinelli all on the score sheet. Blast scores for them, but that's another 3 points for Arsenal. And after that international break, we now are back to the Premier League, and we have an away tie against West Brom. Obviously, they are right down the bottom of the table, haven't got a point all season, and therefore this should be an easy win for Arsenal. We go into this now. Can we make it 13 from 13? We can. We win 2-0. Mbappe with a double, but Leno getting injured in the first minute. Hopefully it's not long term, because obviously we do only have a couple of keepers. And Leno has torn his groin and he's out for 6 weeks. So that is a big blow for Arsenal. Perrin will have to step up now, but obviously he's nowhere near as good as Leno, and that only leaves us with a prospect on the bench. And in addition to that injury, we've had an offer in here. Again, we had this in the last video. It's very strange that we're getting offers halfway through the season, not in any transfer window. And this time it's been an offer from Bayern Munich for Nicolas Pepe for £97.5 million. Obviously really good money for someone, but I'm not even going to consider accepting any offers until we're into January. Back to the Champions League now, and it's the penultimate game of the group stages, and we are home against Dinamo Kiev. We haven't quite secured first place there. You can see Napoli are 5 points behind us with 2 games to go, so they could still in theory overtake us, but a win here, or a point at least in our final game, and that should secure first space. So we'll go into it now against Dinamo Kiev, who have lost all 4 games so far. I wouldn't expect anything other than a win. And there it is. We win 4-0. Martinelli, Saka again, and Barella all on the score sheet. So here we go, back in the Premier League now, and 13 wins from 13 so far. We mentioned before it's already the best start to the season. One of the best starts in the Premier League has been the last couple of years, of 14 wins out of 15. So we're going to see if we can make it 15 out of 15 in these next 2 games. First up, we have a home tie against Bournemouth. Going to jump into this here now. Can we make it 14 in a row? We can, and it's another convincing win as well. 4-0. Pepe, Brandt, Mbappe and Tierney all on the score sheet. And here is our chance now to make it 15 out of 15 as we close out November. And it is an away game against Newcastle. So jumping into this here, flicked over to the second team, because we do have Manchester United coming up on the weekend, which will be a big game. Do we get the win though? We do. We win 2-0. Maddison, Trincao on the score sheet. Another clean sheet. I think that's 4 in a row for Perrin since he's come in for the injured Leno. So he's doing really well. And Arsenal win once again. And I was holding my breath for a second there when I saw a training injury, wondering if it was going to be a key player. It's Lucas Klosterman who's out, so not a first choice player, and it is also only a sprained knee. So out for a week. He'll miss the United game, but other than that, no big loss. And here we are at the Manchester United game now. And obviously Arsenal already starting to pull away at the top of the table. Is it the fact that we've just built a squad that is too good for this game now? We are 8 points clear already after only 15 games played. And looking at the table a little bit more closely, we are 12 points clear of United, who are currently in 5th place. We've scored 46. So remember last year when we had Jovic at the first half of the season, we were struggling to score goals. That's definitely not the case anymore. We're averaging 3 goals a game. We've also only conceded 5, so the joint best defensive record in the league, along with Manchester United. So we'll get into this game in just a second here. But very quickly, I figured I'd show you the top goal scorers to see how we're getting on. And Mbappe is right in there at the moment with 9 goals from 10 games. Obviously, he hasn't played every game because we are rotating, but he's only 2 behind Alcácer at the top of the table there. And Brandt a little bit further down with 6 goals in 11. So let's get into this game now. This is the side we're going to get going with. Our first 11, obviously with the exception of Perrin, who is still in there for the injured Leno. Getting to this now against Manchester United. Obviously always a big game for both Arsenal and Man U fans respectively. But hopefully we can continue our run and get another 3 points. And a quick look at the new United team, because obviously remember they did make a few signings back in the summer. De Gea was obviously still there in goal. Tagliafico is a left back for they've brought in now. Obviously we were looking at him a couple of seasons ago before we ended up going with Jose Gaya. Maguire and Gabriel in the middle with Lena at right back. Fred, McTominay in the middle of the park. Rashford, Fernandes and now Tegan Hazard on the right hand side. And their big signing of Harry Kane up top. Here's Neves now. He's gone into Brandt. He'll go back to Neves, who's made that run in behind the right back. Hasn't quite got the pace of Pepe. Pepe though steps over and Brandt hits one. And it's saved by De Gea. Pepe with the corner. It's headed down by Kimpembe. And the bounce just takes it over the bar. And it's another corner now. And it's fallen to Saka. De Gea gets a leg out. Here is Tierney now. He'll go into Mbappe. It's a great dummy for Mbappe. And a great finish. Really good use of his body to let that ball run across him. And from the edge of the area, he just picked his spot into the bottom corner, outside of the stretch arm of De Gea. Look at this. Just uses his body to shield the ball. And he finds the corner of the net, and it is 1-0 to Arsenal. Here is Saka now. It's good advantage played by the referee after Mbappe was fouled. And can Saka finish? He can. And Arsenal already steering ahead of this game. It's 2-0 after 30 minutes. So Mbappe fouled in the centre half. But the referee played advantage. And Saka, from the angle, did really well. It's another impressive finish from the young Englishman. And it's 2-0 to Arsenal. Oh, Neves has nipped in here. And can he find Mbappe in behind? He can. Can he find Brandt in the middle? He can. Oh, it's a really good save, De Gea. Arsenal running riot on United at the moment. Here's Rashford now, as always, on this right-hand side. He's got past Pepe. He's got into Fernandes. He's bent one. And what a finish that is from Bruno Fernandes. And Arsenal have conceded and United are right back in it. What a finish. Once again, Rashford down this right-hand side. He's caused so much problems for us over the years. And Fernandes has just picked his spot and bent it into the far corner. It's 2-1. And there goes the half-time whistle. Arsenal go into the break with a 1-goal advantage. Despite being the absolutely dominating team in that first half, the lead is only 1. Mbappe and Saka with the goals for Arsenal. Fernandes in response for United. And we just need to be a little bit careful in the second half. See if we can get that 3rd goal to restore the 2-goal cushion. Because we've seen it only takes 1 chance for them to score. Here is McTominay now. It's gone into Kane. And that shot's weak and it's easy for Perrin. Here is Mbappe now. Arsenal looking to counter here with Saka. He go into Mbappe. Pepe. Oh. Pepe was arriving, but he went for goal. But it was weak and easy for De Gea. It's gone into Mbappe. Mbappe. It's a great turn of pace from him. And he fires low. And brings a good save out of De Gea. Could he have slipped in Brandt there? Quite possibly. The shot is too central. Here's Fernandes now. He's gone into McTominay. And he's found Kane. And then there's Rashford on the far side. Good save, Perrin. But the referee's given a penalty. What for? And a red card. I honestly don't know what's happened there. He's slid in, but it's after he's hit the shot because I've pressed X to clear the ball. But for some reason it's still on Kimpembe and he's slid to the ground. Unbelievable. And Arsenal, from a place of such dominance now, are staring into potentially conceding. And Kane, he puts it away. And United are back in this game. It's 2-2. And here goes Pepe now. He's got Bellerin out wide. And Bellerin is charging through the middle. And Mbappe's arriving at the back post, but it's a really poor cross. I've been trying to get these subs on for a while. There's only 5 minutes to go now. Jovic, Martinelli, Barella all coming on. Oh, it's a great flick from Harry Kane and Fernandes. And the comeback is complete from United. From 2-0 down to 3-2 up. And Arsenal are staring at defeat here. And somehow, I really don't know how, but we have lost that game against Manchester United here today. We were so dominant. I don't know. It's just one of those games where everything was against us. We weren't that good in the second half. We didn't really create anything clear cut, but we could have put it away in that first half. They score with their first shot. And then, like I say, the foul. There wasn't supposed to be a foul, but the player being controlled was the wrong one. And then trying to push forward for the winner, we get caught out ourselves. Our first defeat of the season. Okay, so it's time to get over that disappointment very, very quickly here with a game away to Napoli in the Champions League. Obviously, you can see it doesn't really matter. We're already guaranteed first. They're already guaranteed second, so not a huge amount to play for. So I will use this as an opportunity just to give some of our youngsters some minutes and some Champions League experience. Like I said, the result doesn't actually matter, although it would be nice to get a win after our last defeat. And we don't. We draw 1-1. Saka scores for us, Rugani for them. Willock picks up an injury as well. And it's a bit of a disappointing one for Willock. He's going to be out for 5 weeks with a broken toe. Obviously, he's only a squad rotation player, but obviously more disappointing for him. We now move back to the Premier League and we have a game here against Aston Villa. So despite that defeat, we are still 6 points clear, and therefore it's not anything we need to worry about too much. We're not going to win all 38 games. So really the focus is making sure we just win the league. We'll simulate this here, replace Kimpembe, obviously suspended. So Ake will come in for him. And let's see if we can get back on track now, and we do. We win 3-0. Martinelli, Mbappe and Pepe all on the score sheet, so a good response after our week of disappointment. And next up here we have the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup up against Newcastle. So obviously this is the last round that I will be simulating before I actually play, hopefully the semi-finals and the final, but obviously we have to navigate past Newcastle first. Let's see if we can get this done. We're going to go with our second 11 team there, as you can see on the left-hand side. And we do. We win 2-0. Maddison with both goals. And Arsenal are through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. And next up is a home tie in the Premier League against Norwich. So you can see there we're still 6 points clear of both Chelsea and Man City. Liverpool a further point back there on 41. Jump into the simulation here. And we get ourselves another win. This time 3-0. Mbappe with 2. And Brandt with the third, and Arsenal's winning streak continues. And we've got some good news here that Bernd Leno has been cleared from his injury and he's returning to training. So I'll probably just give Perrin one more game just while Leno gets up to full fitness, but after that we'll be able to bring him back into the first team. And our final game of the first round of Premier League fixtures is away to Southampton, and you can see they've been a bit of a surprise package of the season, sitting there in 6th position. Although really, I mean, look at the gap between 5th and 6th already. It is 13 points, so you got your top 5 teams there as you would expect. Spurs struggling quite a bit more this season without Harry Kane. And Southampton and West Ham having reasonable seasons. They're going to be chasing down those final Europa League spots for sure. So with that in mind, not necessarily the easiest game based on current form, but hopefully we can get our final result before Christmas with a win. And we do. We win 2-0. Pepe and Tierney are both on the score sheet. And I said it was our last game before Christmas. It appears that in EA's FIFA world, games on Christmas Day take place, which I don't remember that ever being a case, but there we go. Sunday, December 25th, 2022. Arsenal have to travel up to Merseyside for an away tie against Everton. So just making a one change to the team. Leno, who is fit again now, comes back in for for Perrin, but other than that, it is still our first choice 11 that we've gone with most of the season. And they get the win. They win 4-0. Ceballos with 2, Brandt and Mbappe with the others. And Arsenal continue to win in the Premier League. And our final Premier League fixture of 2022 is a home tie against Fulham. So you can see there we are already 8 points clear at the top of the table. It's looking like it might be quite easy. Obviously just that one loss which came against United. And United, look at that actually, United are undefeated. So, you know, maybe we didn't give them enough credit. They're actually having a very good season. The only reason they're not doing better is just obviously the fact that City and Chelsea are both doing really well. We're going to have a quick look and see. Fulham, they're not doing too bad. They are there in 13th position. Only 2 points above the relegation zone. So it is very, very clustered there from 13th down to 18th. But considering that they had not won in their first 11 games, you know, that's quite a return to form. That means in their last 9, they've won 6, drawn 1, lost 2. So they're definitely in a little bit of form. So I'm going to rotate it now because games are coming thick and fast through December. Going to go to the second team against Fulham. But hopefully they should still be more than enough to get the job done. And they are. They win 4-0. Martinelli with 2. Pepe with 1. And Trincao with the 4th. And it sounds a bit like a broken record, but Arsenal win again. And it appears that by year number 4, the EA fixture engine is a little bit broken because it's the 31st of December here. And we have now the 3rd round of the FA Cup. And anyone that knows football, they will know that the FA Cup normally takes place the first weekend after the New Year's Day fixtures, and therefore this is definitely not in the right place in the calendar, but there we go. We will use this as an opportunity to give some of our youngsters some minutes. Willock has just come back into training and therefore he will get some time along with Nelson Smith-Rowe. The likes of Jovic and Demiral, who are not playing too much as well, will get a run out as well. And sorry, I think I said QPR because I looked at the badge and I thought it was QPR, but it's actually Rochdale that we're playing. So we're going to jump into this here, simulate. I would definitely expect us to be far too much for lower league opposition. And we win 3-0. Jovic, Saka and Willock returning from injury, all on the score sheet. The only slight downer, Diaz gets sent off, so he will be suspended for the next game. And we are now into January here, and only 2 days into the January transfer window, and we have had our first offer in for a player. And it's from Bayern Munich, and it's for Klosterman, and it's for £65 million. And obviously that's a pretty good offer, especially for a player that we're not really using that much. But, you know, that being said, he is an 87 overall. I mean, when we do use him, he's very good defensively. I think you would argue that he's probably better than Bellerin. Bellerin is just a player that I like to use, and therefore I am going to reject that. I don't really want to be selling Klosterman. And you can see here we now have the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, the first leg, and we are away to Manchester City. So this is the team we're going to be going with. We've got Perrin in goal, Gaia, Ake, Demiral, Klosterman, Varela, Torreira, Saka, Maddison, Trincao and Martinelli up top. So let's jump into this here now and see if we can make it back to the final of the Carabao Cup. So a quick look at the City team, and it looks like they're going pretty much full out for this game here. They've got Ederson in goal, Catabacca left back, Titi, Laporte, Cancelo rounding out the defence, Rodri, Lo Celso, Silva in the middle of the park, and then Foden, Sterling and Jesus up top. So a very good side, but in games gone by, we've generally fared pretty well against City. So let's see if we can do the same here and get ourselves a good first leg advantage. Maddison now, he's set Trincao away. Trincao, he's got past Catabacca. Can he find Martinelli in the middle? He can! And just like that, Arsenal destructive on the counter-attack. And after only 7 minutes, Arsenal have the lead here. We're just so good on that counter-attack. Couple of neat passes, set Trincao away. And he had perfect pass into Martinelli, who hits it first time. Before Ederson can even react, it's past him, and it's 1-0. Here is Sterling now. He's absolutely sold Gaia there. He stepped inside past him. On his front to Silva. And almost straight away, City hit back. I think he's been called offside there. Perrin made the save anyway. Here's João Cancelo now. He's got a bit of a run. But it's easy for Perrin. Maddison into Barella. And Martinelli has gone out wide to Trincao. Can he look to hit one? That's pretty tame and easy for Ederson. Barella into Maddison. He'll go into Martinelli. It's a good first touch from him. Can he find Saka on the outside? He can. Saka's cut it inside. But on the weaker right foot. There's not enough power to trouble Ederson. And that is the half-time whistle. Arsenal go into the break with just a 1-0 advantage. Not been the best half. Obviously a really fast start from Arsenal, scoring inside the opening 10 minutes. But since then we've been pretty poor in the final third. City haven't created too much either. And we'll hope to extend our lead in the second half. Saka has gone into Maddison. Lays it off to Barella. And Martinelli now. He's gone over the top for Maddison. It's a really good finish on the volley from James Maddison. And that all-important second goal has come early in this second half. Perfectly weighted pass over the top. And to keep his eye on it, he did extremely well. And fired low past Ederson. It's 2-0. Last half an hour here. Time to make some changes. Jovic, Smith Rowe and Nelson are all coming on for Maddison, Trincao and Martinelli. Here is Bernardo Silva now. Oh, he's just gone past everyone so easily. That's really bad defending by me. Just diving into two of the challenges. And when the space opened up, we didn't have to ask him twice. City back in this game. Look at this. Dived in there. Tried to dive in there, but didn't get anywhere near him. And just like that, it's 2-1. Here's Smith Rowe now. It's a perfectly weighted pass for Torreira, who's running through the middle here. Oh, is it a penalty? No, he's got the ball. Saka. It's gone out inside to Jovic. Jovic now. He'll return it to Saka. And can he get the cross? Can he find Smith Rowe? And he can. And Arsenal cutting City open once again. And the young Englishman has got that all-important third goal to give Arsenal the 2-goal cushion with about 10 minutes to go. Really good ball out wide from Jovic, and then Saka just needed to find the right cross. And like always, he does. 3-1. And there it is, the full-time whistle. And Arsenal have a first leg advantage here in the Carabao Cup semi-final. They are victors by 3-1 here at the Etihad. A really, really good result to take back to the Emirates in just over a week's time. And it was a little nervy with our defending at the back. We weren't always the best, and it showed really with Bernardo's goal. But other than that, we were pretty dominant, and I'll be very confident that we can get through to the final from here. And just before we have that return leg against City in the Carabao Cup, we've got a couple of Premier League games here to navigate. First up here, we have a home tie against Leicester. Jumping in here, back to our first choice team. Can we get a result? We can. It's just a 1 goal, and it took us to the 82nd minute to find it. Ceballos eventually with the breakthrough, and Arsenal managed to pick up another vital 3 points. And next up is an away tie against Brighton here. So we'll go up against them, continuing with our first team. We've just actually loaned them one of our prospects. It'll be interesting to see if he plays or not. No, he doesn't. He's only on the bench. Blondo, our young keeper. Obviously, Ryan, their first choice goalie. And Arsenal, though, more importantly, we win 3-0. Gnabry, Brandt and Mbappe all score. We're keeping pace at the top, making sure we keep that gap to being at least 8 points. And it's now actually 10 points. City dropped 2 points in their last game. And now here we go against Bournemouth, away to Bournemouth. We'll jump into this here, see if we can get ourselves another 3 points. And we do. We win 3-1. Mbappe and Brandt, our 2 talisman, both on the score sheet again. Along with Kieran Tierney. Callum Wilson scores a goal for Bournemouth, but it didn't matter. He brought them on level terms, but 2 quick-fire goals secured us the 3 points. So next up here, we have some 4th round FA Cup action away to Fulham. Obviously, they are struggling in the Premier League at the moment, so we rotate it around, go with this team here against them. Should be enough to get the job done. It is. We win 3-0. The young Arsenal Gunners get the job done. Nelson with 2, Saka with the 3rd, and Arsenal move on to the next round. And so here we go now. It's the return leg against Manchester City in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. So there it is there. That is the team. Obviously, we are carrying over a 3-1 aggregate lead going into this game. So very, very confident that we will progress. Just have to play sensible, make sure we defend well, and we should be on our way back to Wembley. Ball in the channel here towards Foden. He's up against Ake. Oh, Cancelo's won it high up the pitch here. And Arsenal, though, they can win it. And they're now away. And with Cancelo that high up, there's huge space in here for Maddison. Can he find Martinelli? He can. Can he finish? Of course he can. And inside 10 minutes, Arsenal cut City open with ease. I don't know what they were doing, piling that many players forward so early on. But when we won the ball off them, there was no one in defence. Just had to wait for the pass and wait for the finish. And it's now 1-0 on the day, 4-1 on aggregate. Here's Torreira now. He'll go out wide for that run of Tierney. Oh, sorry, not Tierney, it's Gaia, of course it is. He'll cut it back and Barella's there. Oh, and it's off the line of City. Oh, and Jesus is giving it straight to Trincao. He'll find Maddison on the edge. Can he finish? Oh, he can't. Edison saves. Oh, and here's Jesus. He's got a shot away early, but it's saved by Perrin. And there is the half-time whistle. Arsenal now are only 45 minutes away from another trip to Wembley. Here's Garcia now. But Gaia steps in. And Saka's now away. And Arsenal, look at this, it's pulling forward, it's 4 against 3. Saka's just got to pick the right pass. It's to Maddison. Oh, it's off the post. It's fallen to Martinelli, but yes, he was, as I expected, standing in an offside position. And Arsenal win it high up the pitch here now. Maddison has gone out wide to Trincao. He'll go one more to Maddison and one more to Martinelli. He's in here. Can he finish it? He can, and that is the end of the tie. 15 minutes to go. Arsenal are now 5-1 in front, 2-0 on the day. That's just typical City. They were keeping the ball, pinging it around like it was a training session. And then they give it away in the middle of the park. And Arsenal, rather than wasting time, just power forward at pace. Gaia wins it though. Torreira, he'll give it to Barella. And Barella now can bring it forward. He'll look to release Jovic. Jovic, has he got the legs? He's in here. Can he finish it? He can. He's only been on the field 10 minutes, but he's got himself a goal. Luka Jovic, and it's now 3-0 to Arsenal. And there it is. That is the full-time whistle. And we've known it for a while now, but that is official. Arsenal are heading back to Wembley, and they are into the final of the Carabao Cup. A trophy that they won last year and they will definitely be looking to retain if they can. Martinelli the hero on the day with 2 goals. Jovic with a 3rd. And it was 3-0 and 6-1 on aggregate. So we don't know exactly who will be in the final against us yet. You've got Manchester United or Liverpool. United 1-0 up over Liverpool after the first leg. Really don't want to play against them ideally. They seem to be our bogey team. I think we've lost to them more than we've lost to anyone else. Okay, there we go. So I think that's a good time to leave it there. There's still a week to go in January. We haven't even mentioned it in this video, but we are in the January transfer window now. And obviously we can look to make an addition to the squad if we feel that we need to do so. But, you know, as I've been saying, since we added the players back in the summer, I just don't know where we look to improve. I mean, look at that first team there. Everyone is an 87. You know, we've got a few guys there in the 90s. Ceballos, Brandt, and Mbappe, all in the 90s. A couple of 89s. You know, we can't really improve that team much more than we already have. And even over on the second team there, again, everyone is an 87, apart from Perrin in goal, who's an 84. But yeah, where do we improve that? They're all 87s, 88s. If you guys have got any suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below of who I can look to add to improve this squad. But, you know, the simulation engine is already proving that we are definitely one of, if not the best team in Europe. We're the best team in England. We're 10 points clear. There's only 14 games to go. I expect us to retain our crown. We will hopefully find out in the next couple of videos whether or not that is the case. But we'll have more important things such as the knockout stages of the Champions League to come. If you are enjoying the series, please remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you give this video a thumbs up, that will help me out and it's much appreciated. Come back very soon for the next episode of this season. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you all next time.